Hi and welcome to Code Hacks. In this video, I want to show you why it's important to use asynchronous programming in your web development. When we are programming on web, most operations we do are I/O bound operations. When we are dealing with files or changing database, we are using I/O bound operations. This kind of operations don't put any pressure on your CPU. Instead, they just take time. Writing something on hard disk is a slow operation and doesn't involve much CPU power. So let's take a look at my demo application and see how it works. Here I have a simple ASP.NET Core 2.0 application, and there's just one controller with two actions. The first one is an async one, and it just uses a task delay to delay the work for 1 second. The other action is just a simple action without using async await keyword, and I make CPU to sleep for 1 second. So basically the amount of time that it takes for this action and this action in my application should be the same, and we'll see in a bit that it's not the case. Now let's run the application and see how it works. Use debug, start without debug here. We are now live and I can start sending requests to my server. I want to run an stress test over my server using Bombardier, which is a free tool you can download from GitHub, and it creates 100 connections here, sending 100 requests to this location, and the timeout is 59 seconds. First, I want to try my sync operation, and let's run it and see how it goes. As you see, my server is working hard and I have to wait to see what happens. Okay, we got the results, and it says my average request per second is 9.49 and the latency is about 10 seconds. Now let's try the async operation. I just need to change one character here, and let's try that again. The results are pretty much interesting. In my async operation, my request per second average is 108, which is 10 times more than the sync operation, and the latency is about 1 second, which is 1/10 of sync operation. The throughput is a lot more and everything looks much better. So using async operation helps a lot with throughput and your average request per second. But why that happens? When you run an I/O operation in a synchronous way, you block the thread from start to finish, which means you lose one of the threads in your thread pool. This thread has to take a request, run the slow I/O operation, and create response, send it back to the client. If you lose all the threads in your thread pool, your server cannot accept more requests. They have to be queued and wait for the other threads to be freed. The problem is you're running an I/O operation which takes time and does not need much CPU cycles to run. You can do a much better way using IOCPs. When we are using async and await keywords in C#, as soon as the I/O operation begins, the worker thread frees up and goes back to thread pool. The I/O operation part is done on IOCP threads, which an I/O computation port thread and especially made to run I/O operations. When the I/O operation is done, to create a response, we again need a worker thread. It can be the same thread which received the request in the first place, but most of the time it's a different thread and depends on your operation system situation. Now these results make sense. When you are bombarded with requests and every time blocking the thread using sync operation leads to higher latencies and lower request per seconds. In async operations, freeing up threads leads to receiving more requests and leaving them to IOCP threads to deal with. It's a much efficient way to use CPU cycles and the power of computing in your server. I hope this video could be useful for you, and if that's the case, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.